Yeah, good morning one and all. This is Ramavat Mohan. Welcome to KANISHKA IAS. So today we'll be dealing with an article which was published in the Hindu. Need to address joblessness of Gen Z. I'll repeat the topic. Need to address joblessness of Gen Z. Jobs, not just growth, must define India's demographic dividend. So what do you mean by demographic dividend? So demographic dividend is nothing but it is like it defines about the age structures, especially the working population in the age group of 15 to 64 years. I'll repeat. So demographic dividend, it talks about the age structures, especially about the working age population, which lies between 15 years to 64 years. And that means this age group, the people who are between this 15 to 64 years of age group should be larger than the non-working population. So who are the non-working population? The non-working population is the children, that is the 14 years and below, and the older people, that is the eldest people who are 65 years and above. Okay. So these non-working age population, they completely dependent. They are dependent on the demographic dividend, like the working population especially, who are lying in the age structure of 15 years to 64 years. So this article was published by N. Chandramohan, who is a economics and business commentator, New Delhi. So recently we have gone through a lot of protest at Jantar Mantar regarding the paper leaks in the NEET UG 2026. So protesting youth have forced exam reforms, but the labor market situation remains dismal. So here that was about the examination reforms and all, but even though people, a lot of people are coming into the labor market, but they are not getting the jobs. So there is a lot of unemployment existing in India. So coming to the what is the main concern actually? So despite we boast that India is doing well, we have achieved around $4 trillion economy, and we are among the 4th largest economy in the entire world, right? And we have a vision like Vikshit Bharat by 2047. So these are all good, but despite all these world's fastest growing large economy, India is facing a serious challenge of joblessness, especially among the youth, that is Gen Z, right? So apart from what we observe is that recent protests we have observed recent protests in Nepal, right? Along with that, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, and even in India highlight growing frustration over lack of unemployment. Okay, the government is not able to create the employment opportunities. So youth aspirations, they are very, very high, but the job market is not sucking them or providing jobs or providing employment opportunities for the workers. So they are what we can say is that the labor market is not able to observe the people who are graduates and who are coming into the working age population. So alarming trends are the unemployment rate between the age group when we talk about 15 to 29 years, especially is 15.8%. So this was the statistics which was taken in the month of April to June 2026. So these are the recent figures. So almost we can say that it is 3 times over, 3 times more than or greater than overall rate of 5.4%. When we talk about the youth unemployment, this has rose drastically by 7.4% year on year, while overall rate remained unchanged. Around 30% of the youth are idle. So what do you mean by that? They are not in education. They are not going to schools, and they are also not working. That is, they are not doing any employment, and they are not undergoing any training. So simply, briefly called as NEET. Okay. So they are not in education, they are not in employment, and they are not in training. So educated youth, they are facing prolonged job search, leading to basic issue is that in the societies, the people are these jobless people, they are facing the social frustration and unrest among the society, and it is very, very harmful to the country or nation. So coming to the skill gap, so India lags behind, like the share of workforce with formal skill training is, like in India we have got only 5%. So the remaining 95% is the skill gap. But when you compare with the advanced countries like Japan and South Korea, so Japan is doing well. It has got a formal skill training of 80%, and compared to South Korea, South Korea is doing far more better. So the formal skill training is 96%, right? So see the gap, like where India stands when we compare with Japan and South Korea. So there is a lot more to do in terms of the formal skill training. Coming to the why this Gen Z is jobless. So there are certain points. So we'll go through one by one. So job creation is slower because the youth who are coming into the job market or labor market, they are not getting the proper employment. Okay. So that is one of the issue. And here when we talk about the statistics, what is happening is, when we talk about the statistics here, every year what is happening is 20 million. So 20 million new jobs needed annually, but the labor market is not able to absorb them. So the country is not able to provide the proper employment. So around almost 20 million is nothing, but we need to provide or create almost 2 crores of new jobs, 2 crores of new jobs in order to observe the aspirants or the people, workforce into the labor market. So that's not happening actually. And the second point is that there is a skill mismatch. So already we have said that the skill, like formal skill training is only 5%, right? There is a gap of 95%. So the skill mismatch is there between the education what is provided and according to the industry needs. So the education is not aligning with the industry needs. So what industry is expecting, that is the workforce is not able to provide that, or they don't have the skill. And coming to the third point, we have got the non-transparent and problematic hiring, that is railway recruitment, for example, that there is like discrepancies are happening in the recruitment process, okay, or corruption, malpractices and all those. And the fourth one is over-promising and under-delivery on government jobs. So recently, like we have come across the government of Telangana, they said that they will be providing around 2 lakhs jobs in the very first year itself, right? But that didn't happen. So that is one of the examples, best examples you can consider. So government is promising they will be providing more jobs, but they are not able to create those jobs, and the employees, there is like a growth in the unemployment. Okay. And coming to India's efforts, like India, like how it is doing, like they introduced Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, simply PMKVY. So they trained almost 16.5 million candidates, okay, or people. So they have trained around 16.5 million people. So focus on employment generation through skill development initiatives. So that program is doing well. Awareness among the leadership about the urgency of job creation. So coming why this matters actually. So jobless growth is acting as a fuel to social unrest and political instability. So when there are no jobs, then people, they create issues or unrest among the society, and even the political instability happens because of the joblessness. So demographic dividend may turn into demographic liability. So whatever demographic dividend is there, right? So India is blessed with a good demographic dividend. We need to utilize we need to reap the benefits of that, but that is not happening. And instead of the demographic dividend is being turned into demographic liability. And productive employment is essential for inclusive and sustainable growth, but that is not happening. When we compare like other South Asian nations, what they are doing, they show that youth unrest can trigger to regime change. So there is, again, we can simply say that there will be like changes in the government or political instability because of the joblessness. Yeah, moving on to the way forward, like in what way we can solve these issues of joblessness. So we can do like by focusing on the job-centric growth. Okay, so we need to prioritize employment. Okay, along with that, what we have to do is we have to prioritize employment in intensive sectors like we need to boost the MSMEs, okay, medium small scale industry enterprises to create more jobs. Along with that, we need to focus on the skill revolution. So as we have seen that there are like the formal skill training is only 5%. So there is a huge gap of 95%. So what we can do is we have to bring skill revolution where the quality skill training had to be aligned with the industry demands or industry needs. And coming to the private sector leadership, what we have to do is we have to come up with innovative job creation. So that could like absorb the people into the workforce. Into the productive workforce, we can say. So transparent and fair hiring. So they ensure merit-based time-bound recruitment in public and private sectors. And finally, we have got youth participation. We need to involve the youth in policy design for a future-ready India. So what we can finally conclude is that we need to empower youth. We need to upskill by providing some formal skill training. We need to reduce that gap. We need to establish more industries, okay, provide better education, better healthcare, right? So all this will be like reducing the unemployment rate in India. So the country may progress and prosper in a better and healthy country. Thank you so much. That's it for today. We'll meet in the next class.